I just do whatever it is that I believe I should do, regardless of the risk to my life. Corazon Aquino, from housewife to president. Even though Corazon Aquino had no political experience, she was still able to unite the people of the Philippines in a non-violent protest against dictator Ferdinand Marcos, which eventually solidified her the position of presidency and restored Philippine democracy, with a hope for a better future for the country. Corazon Aquino's story leaves a legacy that inspires women and politicians around the world how to act without using violence.
By the exercise of democracy, even in a dictatorship, they would be prepared for democracy when it came. And then also, it was the only way I knew by which we could measure our power, even in the terms dictated by the dictatorship.
Part 1. The Beginning. Corazon Aquino was born in Tarlac, Philippines on January 25, 1933. Her parents were Jose Conjanco Sr. and Dementia Sumulong, both of which were from prominent and politically influential families. Corazon Aquino was the fourth of her 5 siblings and was very smart. Cory Aquino went to Ravenhill Academy in high school and was an A+ student and a good person. She then graduated from Notre Dame School and earned a high school diploma. She went to College of Mount St. Vincent, earning a major in French and a minor in mathematics. Corazon Aquino decided that she wanted to go home to the Philippines to pursue law, but instead of pursuing law, she met her old friend Ninoy Aquino and they fell in love. They eventually got married, and Corazon Aquino put off all her studies to become a housewife and raise their eventual 5 kids. Cory Aquino's husband, Ninoy Aquino, was a great politician, and at age 21, he was elected as the youngest governor and senator. Cory supported him at home while raising the kids. Ninoy was also known for criticizing the Philippine president at the time, Ferdinand Marcos, by saying he was corrupt and only cared about power. This eventually started the Marcos and Aquino dispute. On September 21, 1972, Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law. He sent all his political opponents to prison in Fort Bonifacio, and one of them was Ninoy Aquino.
Everybody was fearful about their lives. There were many who were murdered because of this, and so the aura then was confusion, fear.
Part 2. When Peace Was Gone. Ninoy Aquino was imprisoned for 7 years, and during those times he spent his days either watching Gandhi, praying, or writing against Marcos. Every time Cory would visit, she would always give him a sense of hope and would listen to his messages. The most memorable thing Ninoy Aquino did when he was in prison was having a hunger strike that lasted 40 days. This nearly ended his life. Ferdinand Marcos was so furious, Ninoy was sentenced to exile. Before being sentenced to exile, Ninoy Aquino got a heart attack and was sent to America to receive treatment. In America, he got better, gave speeches, but then he realized he wanted to return home to the Philippines because the Filipinos were worth dying.
With your hand camera, because this action can become very fast. Yes. In a matter of 3-4 minutes, it could be all over, you know. And I may not be able to talk to you again after this. So this is the danger, the big danger.
In August 21, 1983, Ninoy Aquino returned home to the Philippines, only to be assassinated the moment he landed. Corazon Aquino returned to the Philippines to attend her husband's funeral. Even though she was heartbroken, she vowed to continue her husband's opposition against Marcos and his dictatorship. As our country bled, the leader's wife came to this podium piously to call for a new human order, this when thousands of Filipinos were political prisoners. After Corazon Aquino's return, she started holding protests and demonstrations against Ferdinand Marcos and quickly got the support of the people. With the help of Jamie Cardinal Sin and Radio Veritas, Corazon Aquino got more and more supporters, and people listened to her protest more and more. They used peace instead of war to go against Marcos. In 1985, Ferdinand Marcos held a snap election upon public discontent and foreign allies pressuring him. At first, Corazon Aquino was hesitant, and she wasn't sure whether to run against him or not. But after receiving 1 million signatures for her to run, she decided to go against Marcos with Salvador Laurel as her running mate. Throughout the whole campaign, Ferdinand Marcos was sexist to Corazon Aquino. He would say things like, "She's nothing but a woman," to which Cory would reply, "Let's see who's the better woman." In 1986, the elections were over, and the Commonwealth Commission of Elections declared Marcos as the winner, while the National Movement on Elections declared Cory as the winner. This caused a lot of controversy, and Cory Aquino called for a people's rally, with the Archbishop Cardinal Jamie Sin's radio broadcasting, and support from Marcos' former military men, Juan Ponce Enrile and Fidel Ramos. Tons and tons of people joined in the rally, which is known as the People Power Revolution. And on the last day, Cory took her inauguration as president, and Ferdinand Marcos fled to Hawaii. As I came to power peacefully, so shall I keep it.
During her presidency, democracy was reinstated, people became free to express and give information.
Corazon Aquino became president with the promise that she will do her best. During her presidency, she faced many problems, with first being the volcano eruption of Mount Pinatubo. During this eruption, there was a hurricane which brought the lethal mix of ash and rain. She also had several coup attacks. One of those attacks even bombed the presidential palace. The Philippines overall had problems, and Cory found them hard to deal with. The good things that happened during her presidency, though, was she made the 1987 Constitution, which restored the rights of the people. She also paid off some of the debt that Marcos owed the World Bank, and she also helped Philippines in general with better treatment of the people. Part 4, Into the Future. In 1992, Corazon Aquino surrendered her presidency to her vice president, Salvador Laurel. During his inauguration, he said to Corazon Aquino, "My courageous predecessor, former President Corazon C. Aquino, restored our civil liberties, then defended them tenaciously against repeated assaults from putschists and insurgents. She made our democracy a fortress against tyrants." Corazon Aquino, even after her presidency, was very active in politics and helps when she could. Present time, her son, Benigno Aquino III, is now the president of the Philippines, and he's following his parents' footsteps. It is up to the women who are in positions of power and responsibility to push for equality that women aspire for and deserve. Cory Aquino's story and legacy leaves girls around the world to aspire to become politicians. It can also inspire politicians in the future to act with peace and without violence. My hope is that more and more people will listen to Cory Aquino's story and learn from her peaceful resilience against dictator Ferdinand Marcos, and how she led the country with peace, love for one's country, and leadership. Corazon Aquino will always be remembered by the Filipino people as the housewife who continued her husband's fight against dictatorship. She is the mother of Philippine democracy.
I admired her greatly. She was a woman of courage who loved her country. She and her family sacrificed so much to try to give the people of the Philippines a better future. And I think that she is an inspiration, not only to the Philippines, but to people everywhere who believe in the right values and a positive future.
And until today, the Filipino people is very happy about that. There is peace and order, etc. So thank you for President Aquino for restoring peace and order in the Philippines. Thank you.